Thank you for tuning in to the Soul Sister Sundays with Coach TK's podcast on these internet streets, giving you nothing but the facts about health, fitness, inspiration, and motivation for women, young and middle-aged, and of course, our golden years. We believe in motivating women to go from the couch to the asphalt and being able to run a 5K, which is 3.1 miles, in less than 2 months. This podcast was started as a way to inspire and motivate women to feel confident and look good while trying to get fit and get that sexy back. I know that so many women want to get started but have doubts about their capabilities. Guess what, ladies? I started in my 30s on this running journey. So if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, let's go! Hello, Soul Sisters. I hope everyone is doing great today on this beautiful day. It is Soul Sister Sunday, and I wanted to bring you some good information to get you started for your week. We are merging now into the first full week of August. What have you guys been up to? I hope it's been something very positive because, we are now day 5 of August, and so far, so good. So if you need some help getting started, don't forget to go ahead and download our free ebook, and I do mean it's free. It's free 99. It's packed with so much information that you all can actually take along your journey, and it will answer some of the questions that you want to know in terms of what type of shoes do I need? Do I need to go to the doctor before I get started? How many miles am I going to have to run during my first week of training? Will I have any breathing problems? All of those questions will be answered in your free, and I do mean free, 99 ebook. So head on over, click on that link, get you started with that free download. Now, on today's show, we're going to give you some tips as part of your running journey in reference to how you can get started, even if you are what? Blessed up top. Yes. Blessed up top. And you're probably saying, what you mean by blessed up top, Coach TK? Well, let me tell you what I mean. Blessed up top means you may wear a cup size like in the D's. Like you may be a double D girl, a triple D girl. You may be a letter H, a G, a J. One part of the alphabet that's not seen by many women. Now, as I take you on my journey this afternoon and tell you how I've been able to run, I want y'all to embrace this information and take it for what it's worth, because I understand how some of you all feel, and I'm going to give you some perspectives of what you can do to still be a part of this journey. Yes, you too can still run a 5K, a 10K, half marathon, and even a marathon while being blessed up top, okay? So, you're probably wondering, are there any special contraptions you need to hold up your breast? Should you have to wear 2 or 3 bras in order to work out? And one other important facet is, how do you analyze your breast for breast cancer? Because as you know, that's also another topic of discussion coming up in October for Breast Cancer Month. And also, ladies, as we're talking about wearing the right sports bra and analyzing our breast for breast cancer, what type of deodorant are you using? Is that also important during your run journey? I'm going to answer all of this after our first segment of What's the Word in Health this week? On Monday, the FDA issued a statement warning that some of the vaginal rejuvenation treatments, the vajayjay procedures, ladies, that are on the market can come with dangerous side effects like vaginal burns, scarring, and pain. Now, here's what I'm not quite clear on. Why are so many women wanting to get these procedures done when, if you think about what our grandmothers went through, our great-grandmothers went through, was that important 40 and 50 years ago? I think a lot of these cosmetic procedures have caused so many issues because we're trying to compare our vajayjays to the women that we see on social media. These movie stars have to keep certain things in check because they're getting paid to use their bodies in a certain way. But when you think about the average woman who doesn't have Hollywood's money, yeah, I did say Hollywood. If you don't have their money, why are you trying to alter your body? Okay, unless you're going to be getting paid for your body. Is that a necessity? According to this recent statement by the FDA, one doctor states, "We've recently become aware of a growing number of manufacturers marketing vaginal rejuvenation devices to women and claiming these procedures will treat conditions and symptoms related to menopause, urinary incontinence, or sexual functions. The procedure uses lasers and other energy-based devices to destroy or reshape vaginal tissue. These products have serious risk and don't have adequate evidence to support their use for these purposes. We are deeply concerned women are being harmed." And while these procedures are approved for as remedies for precancerous cervical or vaginal tissue and genital warts, the FDA says that they are not approved for use as vaginal rejuvenation treatments, even though some are being marketed as such. So, ladies, we have to be very mindful that there are a lot of snake oil salesmen out here. And although the FDA does approve a lot of weird materials, this one isn't approved, but yet it's being sold on the market. Okay? They have found different reviews where numerous cases of vaginal burns, scarring, pain during sexual intercourse, and reoccurring or chronic pain has been happening. And let me tell you, the FDA has warned several companies that make these devices, including Cynosure Inc., Mona Lisa Touch, and Thermogene Inc. And they're asking these companies to remove statements linked to non-surgical vaginal rejuvenation or provide them with a backup for those claims. But the FDA wants to warn women to look out for their own safety too. Okay? So if you haven't received anything from your doctor, from your OBGYN or your gynecologist, then perhaps you need to have second thoughts about ordering something online. Okay? Women need to consider these treatments as something that could potentially give you some hazardous or lifelong adverse effects to your vajayjay. Okay, ladies? So make sure that you are aware of that. And I'll provide the link to this article as well. In other news, a new endometriosis treatment will be on the market soon, and it's the first one in more than 10 years. Now, for those of you all that don't know, endometriosis is something that affects a lot of women, okay? One of the reasons why I began my running journey is because I was having some problems in my endometriosis in the lining of my uterus, and I decided, you know what, I'm not going to be put on, because the doctor said, all right, if you want to get rid of this, you need to go ahead and be put on birth control pills for the rest of your life. Now, y'all, who wants to take a pill every single day for the rest of your life? We're talking 30 and 40 years. That's ridiculous to me. So I decided to just go ahead and do what? Change my eating habits, because a lot of your uterus issues deal with what you're putting in your mouth. And of course, knowledge is power. I had to do some research, and on this research journey, I have found a lot of ways and methods that I could actually use and to incorporate in my lifestyle to change that. But according to what has happened, this new drug called Orilissa was created in order to treat endometriosis. Now, in case you don't know, endometriosis is a condition in which the tissue that lines the uterus, aka like the endometrium, also grows in other places in the body, like the ovaries, the fallopian tubes, vagina, or bladder. And for some women, it prevents them from getting pregnant, because if you have an abundance of tissue that grows in that area, it could smother the baby. So there are rare cases where this tissue can grow in other places like the lungs. So it is a very extremely painful, debilitating matter that occurs oftentimes, like during menstruation, bowel movements, just going to the bathroom, even during intercourse, and it could also have some infertility issues. So Endometriosis ain't no joke, okay? A lot of women I know who have suffered from this, and I think a lot of men need to be educated on this as well, because so many men have women that are dealing with this and they don't understand what's going on with their women, with their ladies. So endometriosis affects about 11% of women from the ages of 15 to 44, according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. So that's basically 1 in every 10 people. And it's the most common between women in their 30s and 40s, though. Orlisa was first approved for endometriosis treatment in more than, this is the first time in more than 10 years that they have actually approved this to be on the market. Because as I told you before, hormonal birth control, including IUDs and over-the-counter drugs, like some pain meds, have been used to help manage the pain that some women have experienced. But you're probably wondering, well, what makes this drug any different? Well, Orlisa is an oral treatment that comes in 2 different doses. There's one that's 150 milligrams of a pill that's taken once a day, and then there's one 200 milligram pill that's taken twice a day. Now, it basically helps to stop your body from making hormones that lead to ovulation, your period, and the growth of endometriosis itself. So it kind of puts you like in a menopausal state, and it controls the growth of endometrial tissue. So it also means that your body can make less estrogen, and once you go off the treatment, you know what happens. Your cycles will come back and the pain from endometriosis can continue. So they're telling you, or they're stating in this article, that they recommend that you either take a 150 milligram dose for 2 years or a 200 milligram dose twice daily for up to 6 months. Now, of course, when you take in new meds, there's always side effects, and one of the serious side effects is a decrease in bone mineral density. So in other words, it may make your bones weaker due to the decrease in estrogen levels, and the risk increases the longer you take the drug. And here's something else that I don't like. There's also a risk of suicidal thoughts, actions, or behaviors. So that's a deal breaker. Guys, all you need to do is just change your eating habits. Now, again, I told you all last week, if you get rid of cow eating beef, chicken, those 2 major animals alone will reduce your endometriosis and the symptoms that you experience. Even women who suffer from PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, okay? And also, the other side effects that women can experience from taking this drug are hot flashes, night sweats, mood changes, and other irritating things, okay? So, would you want to take this? For me, I say no. I say change what you're eating, and you could eliminate some of these hormonal changes that your body undertakes, okay? So I'll give you all the link to this particular article as well, and you can go read more on this for your own sake. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. When we get back, we're going to get into the bra aspects. Do you need 2 or 3 bras, ladies, just to get your run on? Hold tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies, to the Soul Sister Sundays podcast. I'm your host, Coach TK. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I know you guys are probably wondering, how do I get in touch with her? Well, first off, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification button so you don't miss a beat with us, okay? And if you want to get in touch with me, all my contact info will be at the very bottom of this screen. So go ahead and click that link, or those links rather, to get access to that free book that I told you guys about at the very beginning of the show. And you can get in touch with me on Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, Facebook, if you want to get more insight on what I did on my running journey when I first got started over 6 years ago. Now, let's go ahead and get into the content for today. The question that I asked you is, can you run even if you are blessed up top? And the answer is yes. So let me take y'all on this journey with me. When I first got started, I went to the store, got this bra, the kind that you like put over your head, and you know, it's like a sports bra, and you didn't have to pop it up in the back like a regular bra. So I bought that thinking, okay, this is going to be what's up. I'm going to go to the gym, get my run on, and, you know, do all these cardio activities with this particular bra that you pull over your head, and it's going to keep me intact. Well, let's just say that did not work. When I first used that type of bra, I was bouncing all over the world, okay? And it was so irritating because I'm like, wait a minute. I have on my regular bra and this particular bra. Why am I not being strapped down? Why am I not being held in place? Well, one thing, when I got started on my fitness journey many years ago, they were not really making bras that adequately provided enough support for women such as myself. So I was frustrated. And I almost said, you know what, forget it. But I went back to the store, and Queen Latifah had a bra line. Now, I forgot the name of her bra line at that time, so I ordered that one. Thinking, all right, well, it's Queen Latifah. She's blessed up top. Maybe this worked for her. It'll work for me. Went back home. Got ready to go to my workout session. Same thing. It did not work. So again, the frustrations levels kicked in, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to double up with 2 regular bras. And then I went to Bally's. I think it was Hanes Mall. Not Hanes Mall, but Hanes, Bally's, where they specialize in women undergarments. I went there, bought a bra that was similar to a sports bra, and that provided better support. And I still wore 2 bras because, again, I didn't feel like it was enough, but it was better than the other 2 that I just told you about. And as I would go along and go to the gym and work out, there was this one particular lady that I did not care for because she would make jokes about me during this box and burn class. Now, one thing you don't do is mess with a woman who's trying to get on her fitness journey, and she could barely get out the house to go to the gym, and let alone be picked on by the gym instructor. So this woman tried to play me during the class, and, you know, when we would do certain exercises, she would say, oh, I hope you're not going to get popped up in your face. Now, mind you, we're already in the room with other women, but I didn't need her checking for me. So I'm just smiling like, okay, whatever, lady. And at that time, my confidence level was totally different than what it is today. Now, today, she said something like that to me, she would have gotten checked right there on the spot. But see, this is the thing. When you're going through a journey, such as trying to have confidence about who you are in your body, you have so many people who like to make jokes, and they don't realize those jokes are very sensitive. And you wonder why people don't like going to the gym, because they're made to feel embarrassed about their body. Hell, they're trying to get in shape. So you're the last person that should be discouraging them. So I know for myself the struggles that I went through was trying to find the right bra. I know whenever I would have women that would come along the journey with me, I would share my insight and give them some support on what they could do to still go out there and run. Now, ladies, one thing you got to remember and keep in mind is that if you are top heavy, okay, more than a size C cup, you can still manage to run. You do want to be mindful that your breast has tissue in it, and sometimes it could be a very painful situation, but you want to make sure that you are secure in and of itself so that you don't have any issues in the long term, because you are having to deal with the bouncing up and down. So a lot of the bra companies out here have come a long way to help women, such as myself and you all included. So I'm going to give you a link to some of these women. Now, I'm not being endorsed by any of these women at all, but I will give you the link to where you can find the support. So rather than me give their names online. I'll just give you all the link because I want you to do some research. But for me, one of the bras that I have been able to use has been the support bra that I buy. It's by Hanes. Again, it's the Bally's. If you go into Bally's and you get them, they actually provide the support for high impact. So you can do some research. There are other companies out here that are trying to help women along the way as well. A lot of the bras that you see on the market also help women in terms of double strapping the bras in the back. So you want to make sure that you have adequate support in the back and also in your shoulders, because again, that is a lot of weight that you're carrying in your breast area, and your shoulders can hurt, your back can also hurt. And what you want to do is make sure that the support that you get is going to be conducive for your type of your impact. So if you're going to be doing a lot of cardio, you want to make sure that you perhaps change out your bras maybe every 3 to 4 months. Okay, so there is support, ladies, for that. You don't have to feel like you're alone in that area. And like I said before, I'm going to give you all the links to some of these companies that do support women who are heavy up top. Okay. The other thing I want to tell you while we're talking about breast support, there's also breast cancer that you need to be aware of. A lot of women are getting signs and symptoms of breast cancer, and since we're talking about supporting yourselves, I remember years ago, before I came into my 30s, that was one of the things that a lot of women could not wait for. You had to be 35 in order to get your first mammogram. And sometimes you feel like, okay, why is one of my breasts larger than the other? Why is one of them droopy, or whatever the case may be? But you have to be in touch with you. You have to look at your body. And sadly, so many of our women are coming across issues with breast cancer, even as early as their 20s. And also men are developing breast cancer at an alarming rate. Of course, they say finding breast cancer as early as possible will give you a better chance of successful treatment. But you're probably wondering, well, how do I even check for breast cancer? The most common symptom of breast cancer is a new lump or mass. So when you're in the shower, you want to, kind of touch your breast and kind of go around like clockwise, to see if there are any lumps inside your breast. If there's any irregular edges, you want to make sure that you get that checked out. If it's tender, soft, or rounded, or you feel like a little lump, you want to get that checked out. There are different sizes. There are some that are the size of a sweet pea. Then there are some that are larger than that. Okay. Sometimes they're painful. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes you may have discharge, and you want to get that analyzed. Sometimes you can have swelling on all or part of the breast. You can have skin irritation or dimpling. And dimpling means like it kind of looks like an orange peel, Sometimes you can have breast or nipple pain. And now keep in mind, ladies, that if you are during PMS, this would not be the time to check it, because your breasts are going to already be tender during that time. But you do want to at least check it before your menstrual cycle and after your menstrual cycle. Sometimes your nipple can retract, meaning it's going to turn inward. Okay, and there may also be some redness or scaliness or thickening of the nipple or breast skin. You may have that nipple discharge outside of breast milk. So you have to be mindful too that breast cancer can spread to your lymph nodes, and which is like under your arms or around the collarbone, and it could cause swelling there. So let me tell you why this is important. Your lymph nodes are very, very important, because that's like your portal system for your health overall. For instance, when we talk about being sick, let's say you have a cold, your lymph nodes tend to swell up in your throat. So where it may be something as simple as a cold that you're coming down with and your lymph nodes are swollen, it could also be something else. Now, I remember years ago when I got my first mammogram, I went to the radiologist and they tell you, all right, take the deodorant off under your arms, and when you come back, there'll be another can for you or another bottle for you to use. But the very thing that causes breast cancer, one of the things rather, that causes breast cancer are the poisonous toxins that you're putting underneath your armpits. Ladies, if you are shaving, my recommendation is that if you shave at night, do not put your deodorant on after you've shaved. Put your deodorant on the next day, because you have cut your skin when you're using that razor, and that could lead to bacterial infections under your armpit. And if you say, well, I still need to put something on up under my arm, well, just go ahead and put some witch hazel under there after you've shaven your armpits. But that's one thing I could say could kind of decrease your bacterial infections underneath your arms that could lead to other things. But in terms of this whole instance of breast cancer, a lot of the deodorants have aluminum in them, and the aluminum is one of the highly toxic elements that you could put under your arms. A lot of people don't like to sweat. Sweating is a detoxifying aspect of your body. It's a cooling system. Yes, some women do have some strange BO, body odors, but again, change the way you eat could eliminate some of that. But when you are putting these toxins under your arms, it causes so many issues. And a lot of the deodorants have aluminum zirconium in them, and it causes so many medical issues in the long term. So my recommendation is that you get some of the natural deodorants like Smith's, or some of the sisters in your community that are selling homemade deodorant that has activated charcoal in it. I'm working on a product line myself for that very reason. There are some deodorants out here that are overpriced. I mean, I've tried them all. A lot of them I've tried, and some of them did not work. I've also been told you have to do what's called a underarm detox, where you're detoxifying your armpits natural odor, so that you can use the deodorants, the natural deodorants, to kick in and give you that comfort of not smelling. So ladies, I did a YouTube video over a month ago on this very topic. Well, it actually dealt with tampons and sanitary napkins. So on a side note, even as a runner, those are some all other natural alternatives that you could use as well. So I'll provide a link to that as well in this video, so you can go ahead, or in this podcast too, so you can go and look at that clip as well. Because let me tell you, there are so many men who are making these products and they don't even use them. Okay? They don't use them. So we have to be mindful of what we're putting on our bodies in order to fight back. We can shut down a lot of these companies if we don't buy their products. Okay? So you can run, ladies, being blessed up top. You just want to make sure that you are mindful that the more you stay active, your breast size will reduce. You will have a reduction in your breast size, and you won't have to wear 2 or 3 bras. But don't use that as an excuse. If you want to get out there and learn how to run, you can. You can. Just be mindful that what you do today will affect you tomorrow. So as we close out, I want you all to take these tidbits of information, these jewels, as something that you can use for your daily motivation, something that you can pass on to your girlfriends. And remember that knowledge is power. You can go out there and learn information. You know, I don't want you to feel that because you are part of the Dolly Parton Club that you can't get out there and do the same thing that I did. You know, I just tell women all the time, I don't care about what people think in terms of exercising and being blessed up top, because you know what? There are some women who don't have them at all. Okay? So just be thankful that you do have them, and just know that as you continue on your fitness journey, they will be reduced in size, but that should not be an excuse to hold you back. Ladies, continue to tune in every Sunday at 3 p.m. when we drop the best of the best on our show. Have a great day, and most of all, educate your mind, your body, and your soul with words and thoughts that will empower you. The library is free. You don't have to have money to go to the library. Malcolm X once said, education is your passport to your future. Soul sisters, get up, get out, and get some knowledge. Be allergic to average. Be allergic to negativity. Elevate your vibe and don't let anyone lower your aura just because they aren't in the right space. Ladies, learn something new every day. Empower yourselves, empower your mind, and always, always, always raise your vibe, and don't let anyone stop you from being the best you. Remember, you can, you will, you must. Go out there and get your run on, ladies. I love y'all to life. Peace.